What is up, guys? You're tuning into this Okiru Podcast. I'm your co-host, Jasper, and we thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope you enjoy this episode. Make sure to follow us on our socials at Okiru on Instagram, Okiru on Facebook, Okiru on YouTube, and also Okiru on major platforms such as Spotify and Apple Music. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope you enjoy.
Okiru.
Chef Fhred, what have you got for us today?
So today we're going to have food. That's it.
Right. Oh, no shit.
No shit, exactly. So we'll have sinigang. We'll have vegetable sinigang for soup. And then we'll have crispy pork Bicol Express.
Wow.
So I'm going to pour this.
Express.
Yeah, it's not going to be spicy, don't worry. I don't know how much heat you guys can handle, so I was mindful of that. Until now. I'll make sure I put in extra jalapenos in there. We don't even use jalapenos, but I will at this point. Pass it on to you.
Thank you, sir.
So what is Bicol Express?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
So Bicol Express is one of those dishes from Bicol, which is like pork base, cooked in bagoong, coconut, ginger, onion, garlic, basically like a stew. And that's one of those dishes we're quite familiar with growing up. And just well known. People actually have different recreations of it from every single country now, which is really cool. Except for the bagoong bit. Because some people will opt out the bagoong because not everybody likes bagoong apparently.
Acquired taste, maybe.
What is bagoong? Yeah.
Bagoong is shrimp paste.
Shrimp paste.
But the thing is like our shrimp paste is actually not as bad as the Vietnamese one.
Right.
The Vietnamese one's kinda
Funky, you mean?
a little bit more funky.
Yeah.
They're more pungent than anything else. Because I remember getting them from the shop and like, oh, there's like shrimp paste. Then I realized if you're getting shrimp paste, you need to get the sautéed one. So if it's a sautéed one, it's close to what we have back home.
So is the one that you're talking about, is it in a block format?
Yeah, the one that the first one that I bought from the Vietnamese shop was a block kind of thing, and it was really strong.
Right.
So I was like, whoa, I don't know if I love this.
A little goes a long way with shrimp paste.
A little goes a long way.
Much.
But the thing is that there's also difference as well. Like I think when you do a fermentation of it, the one that you buy as a block is actually quite strong because it's like more condensed. But the one that we have at home is more aromatic.
Yeah.
Because they're made to be that way, really. Fresh rice. It's not really sexy. I know, right? It's so sexy. So when I open it, you know. Actually, guys, we're sponsored by Sunbeam.
Oh, Sunbeam! Sunbeam.
Thank you so much for giving us your rice cooker. So yeah, this is a sponsored thing, actually. Not really.
Promo code.
Promo code non-existent. Or rice cooker. Try it. Maybe it works. You never know. They give you different things.
Chef Fhred also made us some delicious cocktails. Can you
Yes.
explain these cocktails?
So it's a mango colada. It's like a mango version of the pina colada. And just because I had like blue rum, coconut blue rum, and excess sorbet from my event, I'm just like, you know what? I need to get these people drunk. I need to like make them tell me the truth.
The truth.
Where are you hiding the queen? God bless her soul.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But yeah, not gonna lie, I know you guys did it. It's okay. That's why we're here. It was you guys. That's why he was like, I knew it. I was like, he's having a hard time parking because he's guilty.
He's still mine.
I'm gonna call the authorities right now.
He's a guilty conscience.
Yeah, I'll call your tita. Hi tita, yung ano mo, may ginawa. Alright, sorry. It's gonna take a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but it's okay.
Ooh, you're shaping the rice as well?
Shaping the rice.
Wow, this is an experience.
This is a dining experience.
Dining experience.
So guys, if you want to book me, you can. Just email me through barangay.
But that's right. That's what you do, right? That's
I do, yeah.
You want to become a caterer for yourself, right?
Yeah, so you know, with barangay we started just maybe doing just pop-up events really. But then it's not as sustainable as like doing something consistent.
Yeah.
Because when you create a brand, you want to always be like there, present and doing something,
Yeah.
so people know that you're active. And I thought I wouldn't be able to do it because at first I couldn't see how the food will look like first. And to me, when I can't see the vision and the taste and the smell or anything related to what I want to create, then it doesn't come to life. I usually dream about things when I really want to make them.
Yeah.
And I think around June this year, when I felt like my second wind is coming back, or at least I wasn't as depressed anymore.
Yeah.
That things were coming back, and I was like, okay, I can do this again.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to do the Banang Wika event actually.
Oh, really?
Because I thought it was not. I thought I was gonna give up on Barangay completely, just because it's so much struggle. Like
Yeah.
to just like keep a pop-up restaurant or just have a restaurant in general. And how the industry is right now, where we're struggling with staff,
Yeah.
like good people to work with us, and wages keep going up. That's the other thing, It's not going down at all.
Yeah.
And you just feel okay. So maybe I shouldn't just do it. But then I met people along the way. I met you guys, and then I was like, okay, maybe it is worth doing. The whole point was to represent our culture. So no one's doing what we were doing so far.
Yeah.
So I thought, it's fun. It's not typical. And at some point we can create a storyline for us that makes sense, for our generation. And I'm not from here, which is another thing. I do miss home, and that's the reason why I wanted to do Filipino stuff.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everything comes back to our home place. The food, the environment comes to how we grew up.
Yes.
And that's how, you want to create something.
Yeah.
So people can feel connected, like
Exactly.
Wi-Fi.
That's right. Food does bring people together,
It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And sitting around this table here, we're all connected through the shared experience of this
Right.
meal. I'm so excited.
So excited.
It has poison everywhere.
This will be our last podcast. guys.
So basically, I planned it.
Last supper.
I just want to be the last guest. I'm picky. I want to be the only one. Lord.
But yeah, like I think that's beautiful that you said that, right? Like throughout your journey, you connected to some incredible people, and we're grateful that we are part of to be connected with you. And we just met you at Mercado. And
We did.
It just all just started with a conversation, right? You saw our board. You and Elliot were just there, standing there, and I was like, I approached you guys, and I was like, hey, like, what do you guys think of this board and stuff like that? And we just got into a conversation,
Yeah. And it led to one.
And-
Basically, the drinks will happen. One
Exactly.
drink will lead to another, and then everyone's drunk.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
But I think like there was a beautiful part of that conversation where you're talking about how you want to bring that Filipino culture into Melbourne, Australia overall. And you've been doing that with your Buwan ng Wika events. And for you to say just before like you were gonna give up on this, I was like, wow, you're
Yeah.
really gonna give up on that? But you didn't. You
No.
decide to overcome the struggle and continue to do it. And I think we think that's incredible because that's why we're here, because we love to hear those stories where people
Want to give up before they actually did.
No,
No.
through the struggle.
push through the struggle.
Push through the struggle.
Yeah. There's beauty in that.
And that's why they say if it's something you're passionate about, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be 10,000 steps ahead of you. And when you're reaching the 10,000 step, it will add on 20,000 more.
Yeah.
So you'll never end until you feel like you've done something or an impact to someone.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, very important at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm making food.
How did it all start? How did your love of food, and especially Filipino food, come to be?
One, I'm Filipino.
Yeah, no,
So that's an additional thing. I love Filipino food, but also it was because of my mom. Everything starts with, a parent really for me. So my mom is a chef prior being just like, a house mom, basically. And I used to help her a lot in the kitchen. And to me, it was like, okay, this is fun. It's like a hobby. And I grew up just joining competitions at school because we have one nutrition month, which is around June, July, and you have this cooking competition, and I would use my mom's recipe books to recreate some of the dishes that were there so that we could win. Because I'm competitive. Let's just do it. And I thought it was like a fun thing because growing up, I know that I was a little bit more creative than I thought I would be, and I wanted to be a doctor. I mean, the usual wanting to be the stereotypical wants of your parents: a doctor, a lawyer. But I really did want to become one. So I was exploring that side of things, but realizing that maybe it's not for me. It's a lot of reasons. One, I can't be a lawyer because I'm way too nice apparently, except for the part I'm poisoning you on camera. And I can't be a doctor because I was scared of blood. It's not helpful if you're scared of those things.
Right.
So I'm just okay, so I can't really do any of these things. And I was waiting for a time where I would feel connected to something. And because in high school in the Philippines, you would do these tours in colleges where you want to maybe study. So I went to this school. My mom used to go there when she was a bit younger. That's where she studied her being a chef, really. And it was brand new. They had a brand new building, brand new training kitchen and stuff. So we had our first dining experience there too, because there's a bistro that does 4 courses or an actual restaurant, and it's run by the students.
Wow.
So they're run by the students. They're getting trained to actually work in the restaurant. So it's an open restaurant too, so everyone can walk in and then just have a meal. So we were having the tour, and at some point we went to the training kitchen, and then there was a demonstration going on, and then that's when things were shining. I don't know what it was, just really weird, interstellar effect. Kind of moment, you're just oh shit, this is actually something that I probably would want. And from then on, I told my mom I want to study here. I just want to be a chef, I think. I want to cook. And I was really trying to be different from my mom because my mom is very good with savory cooking. And then I ended up just, maybe pursuing pastry because I thought that is something that my mom is not good at. I might as well do something that she's not good at. It's a rebellious phase, really. It's being one. I don't want to do what you're doing, mom. I want my own identity. But so I did do some pastry work. That was the first 3 years of my professional career here in Melbourne. And ever since, I just thought this is cool, and just creating stuff. As I said, whenever I create anything, I need to dream about it. And I could taste it. I could literally feel how it is going to look like. And anytime I feel that way, it comes to life. And it's always an additional thing as well. So I'm just gonna hand it over to you guys.
Wow.
Pass this on.
Is beautiful.
Pass it on. No worries. I was gonna do a different style of plating for this one, but I didn't have the actual mold. So
Wow.
You're alright.
alright.
Beautiful.
I don't know about you guys, but experiencing Filipino food like this is unknown to me, because when you experience Filipino food, it's always in bulk, right? It's with the family, and it's just get your own bowl and serve yourself. And we're presented in I don't know, what would you call this? Next level. A restaurant experience, right?
It is a restaurant experience. So I wanted you guys to come to my household basically to also understand the aesthetic that I want to go to, or how I want Filipino food to be represented here. At the same time as well, because it's fun. I have nothing else to do on a Sunday. That's a lie. I need to recover on a Sunday. But we have to do this and just make food. And I thought I love Bicol Express and I love Sinigang. And because I need it for drinking too much. So let's just make it that. And now we're drinking again.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, are you alive? Are you okay? Do you want me to make you another cocktail?
I'm actually good for now, but I'm excited to dig in. This pork belly is look at that.
It's calling to me.
Calling to you.
Oh wow! Look at that sound.
Go for it.
I love how everyone does the thing.
Yeah. Because I saw your story today too. And you're just like, the sound of it.
The ASMR.
The crispiness
Yeah.
of it as well.
And that's what you want. You want people to know that it's actually crispy.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So good luck to your teats. Goodbye to them now. Do you want soft drinks? Before moving forward, I have like lemonade. And I could give you guys cans so that we can continue.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
sure.
that, yeah, sure,
I'm
sure.
happy to take some lemonade.
Yeah. So this is a first for the Okiru podcast and dining experience.
Yeah.
But
It's almost like a, what do you call it? Mukbang.
yeah, it's almost like a mukbang, like a fancy mukbang. It's a fancy mukbang. Just a quick question: is the mic going to interfere with that mic?
Oh no, I think you turned
He's recording on his phone.
Oh, okay. No, because like if any mics as well,
Hello.
it might create interference.
Oh.
Yeah. Does that create interference? The other mic?
Oh no, I think it should be fine.
That should be fine.
I can remove it.
Ah,
We don't need it
But,
anyways.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
from
I was
here
just
on
a
out.
bit. I was just like,
That's okay.
I mean, we understand. It's okay. You can panic. Just keep panicking. It's okay. It's beautiful, you know.
No, I'm panicking.
Is that are you panicking? Is that alright? Is it good?
Yeah.
We're good. Alright, we're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
we're alive. Don't worry. Your ears are not bursting.
So this is sinigang soup, yeah? And it's like a sour
It's
soup.
a sour soup,
Right.
so it's like using tamarind as your base for the
That's
broth
base,
dressing.
yeah.
And there's a lot of variation to it. So if I were you, if you want to do it, just like,
Wow.
and like this one's just like the typical one that I grew up with.
Mm.
I didn't use like sinigang mix for this one. Just want to let you guys know.
Oh.
I used tamarind paste for this one.
Right.
It's so full of flavor. The soup, it's incredible.
It is.
Because it's made with love and also a lot of MSG. No, it doesn't have MSG.
It doesn't have MSG. But I hear MSG is there's a chef that I follow on Instagram, Twader Bay, and she has a campaign saying that MSG is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not. The thing is, like, it's because of how the Americans created the propaganda that MSG is horrible, just to like make the Chinese people look bad. And it's
Okay.
basically a racist attack to everything. Anyways,
Really?
it's the same way where everything. It's like it's an understandable thing where you eat too much sugar, you will get diabetes.
Correct.
If you drink too much, you will get super drunk. So a little bit of everything is like bad for you. You know, it's not always just like, oh, it's because it's MSG is gonna destroy you. It's not. No, it's basically umami in like your sprinkle. You know, just slaps you real silly.
Wow.
So good.
And I'm hearing the crunch from you guys as well.
That's good. That's good. Because it took me an hour to make it.
Wow.
Not trying to make it you guys feel bad, just letting you know it took an hour to make it.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you found cooking, did you stick to cooking? Was there any other
Yes.
like in your mind like, oh, maybe I can try something?
I actually just stuck to cooking. So my trajectory was because I studied quite early. So I went to uni when I was 15.
Oh wow.
And I finished that course basically by the years, like when I was 17. And then I just continued doing stuff in between before I went here. And I still needed to do an internship. And I thought, okay, I could do it here and there. So by the time I graduated, I completed the associate degree from the Philippines.
Yeah.
And then the bachelor's degree here. So it was like a 2-for-1 scenario.
What
And-
bachelor degree did you study here?
Bachelor's in culinary management. So that was in William Angus. And I was like, okay, expensive school. Gotta work hard. No sleep.
Wow.
And how was the transition from the Philippines to Melbourne and experiencing the different cultures in hospitality?
Yeah, they're nodding because you did great. That's a good question. I think
And the food, I think.
I think that there was not a lot of difference because I grew up in a very multicultural household. To me, it was more like, okay, I'm in a different country, but I'm extroverted, so I could speak my way into it. So it wasn't as hard. I think for the first 3 months, it was exciting. I was like, oh, I'm in a different country, independence, you know. But then when reality hits already and you're starting to become an actual adult where you're paying all of your bills,
Yeah.
you're trying to pay for this tuition fee, and then you're actually experiencing things that are not normal because you come home in the Philippines and you're surrounded with love, you know, you're surrounded with family. No matter how, even if you're just fighting, it's just a good interaction because you're still like, okay, that's my sibling. It's okay. I feel alive. Early in the morning, your mom will yell, "Gising na, kain na," and then she'll call us all in order, and you say, okay, cool. So mom, we don't want to wake up yet. But here you have to do everything on your own. You have to wake yourself up. You have to do your things, laundry, whatever. But it wasn't that I didn't know how to do them. It's more like it's very different. You know, and the feeling of there's no actual security for you because like there's a difference of like having security back home than having security here. Here we're secured if we have a job, we have a good household, we got good partners, good friends. But back home has that strong connection to our family, and that creates a shield that makes you feel lighter on the inside because you know that no matter what, someone will get you. And sometimes when you're here, it's not always the case.
Yeah.
You find your chosen family, and that's where you feel like, okay, maybe I'm a little bit protected.
Yeah.
But that's not also a very good security because some people move on and they go to different places, you know. But family is always where it's at. I think for us Filipinos, that's a very big effect on like how we grow up and how we interact with people. So now you know my family is very loud.
It's so true with family, like Filipino family, like no matter what, they'll still love you no matter what. Like, that's that close, tiny, like no matter how many fights or things get so bad at home, you know, at the end, like it's family, like you guys love each other there, right? Like,
Exactly.
It's your blood. That's why.
Blood.
But Vietnamese culture is the same as well, right? So the family always comes first, and it's beautiful. And when you're pronouncing, say, Filipino names, do you use the family name first, and then first name last, or anything like that?
No.
Out of curiosity.
It's the first name first and then last name.
Okay. Well, Vietnamese culture and I think Japanese culture too, you use the surname first or your family name first. And to me, it as I'm thinking about it, the family comes first, and that's how you pronounce your name first. Family name first, and then your real name last, right? Because the family comes before the individual, and say like in the Western world, it's always
The individual.
the individual first, and
Yeah.
that's what you may have experienced here. It's all about the individual in Melbourne in Australia.
I think it's like
isn't it?
I think in my sense it's like it's not a bad thing. The idea of creating individualism for people is to create that independence as well. And I admire that with like Australians as well. But I also think there's a separation to like just being independent and not minding or being mindful of the people around you. Because sometimes Australians or other people or like Western culture really comes too strong to judge or like push their ideals to other people, but not realizing that their point of view is only just an outside point of view. It's the same way where you cannot talk about someone who got raped, let's say. You can't talk about their scenario or like when they get pregnant. You have no right to speak for them. It's the same way for us. No one has a right to speak for our culture except for us. And speak for us as well as people individually. So I think that's my take on it. Intense. Guys, I'm losing my English. Can you get me more? Oh God, so intense this podcast.
But I think it's good to have. It's beautiful that we're having this conversation over like dinner, right? Like sometimes these are where you have these intimate conversations where sometimes they can get so deep and like critical, like as these conversations are, but they're necessary, right?
And I think it's not a bad thing. It's more that if you open up a conversation, it has a lot of heat to it. It's how you tackle it.
Yes.
And respect the topic itself or the person itself, so that you don't create that kind of hatred from other people. Because people always tend to listen to something and then hold on to one word that you said, and they will say, you said this, but not entirely, see
Not in
the
the
full,
context,
the full details. So to me, that's how it is. You just need to like listen to the entire thing, please. Thank you. You can remove the part where I poisoned them.
But first of all, can we just say how fucking delicious this is? Like,
No, it's so good.
it's so good.
You know, so many times you're looking at me. I'm like,
I was like,
I don't know. I'm like, oh yeah.
like, holy shit! Like, this is the Chef Fhred experience. Right?
It's expensive. I'm joking. It's not that cheap.
Send us the bill.
Send you the bill. No. It's like, again, I really wanted you guys to come by and try it as well. Because some of you didn't come to my event, so I have to compensate for people who didn't come. Well, so sad, you know. And it's like, okay, it's like they just don't like me. Especially that other Filipino guy, man. Oh god, he's Filipino and then he didn't come. Oh wait, he's also late today.
Shots fired.
Man down. Oh wait, you're still
I'm gonna
here.
pass away soon.
But that's why you're actually seated next to me, because they know I'm gonna
Stab you with a
send you
blunt
somewhere.
The Filipino food is very homey as well, that I've experienced when I was in the Philippines. It was just food like this, right? And when we did go out, like I was in Manila with my friend and his family, went out to eat takeaway and fast food. It was just kind of odd because
Were you dying on the inside?
a little, because I wanted to experience like the proper cuisine, but they always took us to eat fast food. But all the proper cuisine is cooked in the home anyway. I think.
It's hard. I think there's also separation with the idea of our cuisine and the culture of takeaways in the Philippines, because we took in that American culture where
Yeah.
we just take away a lot of food. There's a lot of fast food everywhere, and Filipino cuisine doesn't come to life until like you eat it in a household or you go to a regional area or a specific restaurant that does Filipino food. And I think it's good that we're still doing Filipino food in the Philippines, but it's also because of how we know to make it at home. And that's why some Filipino restaurants here or anywhere in the world really don't progress, because they tend to be like put on like, I can just make it at home. And then why did you eat in that restaurant then? If you're gonna mock the person who's doing something, then it won't go anywhere. And then that's the reason why we are not able to represent further. Before they can even get to the point of getting to know like Filipino food, they closed down. And COVID didn't help. So that's another thing.
How was COVID for you then? And you said, look, you went through a rough patch as well, because your livelihood was taken away, your joys, your passions were taken away over what, 2-3 years.
Yeah, it was so fun playing Animal Crossing. I tell you honestly, I needed that game. So basically, when the lockdown happened, everyone was stood down, and because people they can't pay their people apparently, which is really a bullshit excuse for companies to have an excuse to not pay their people, and I paid for my visa then, so I was doing my visa stuff, and it's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's really expensive. I had to prove that I'm a chef when I already have my bachelor's degree and associate degree certificates in cookery. I had all of those things, and yet I still have to pay $3,000 just to say that I actually qualify as a professional chef. So as you're going towards that requirement, because you have a lot of requirements aside from that, you have police check, your medical, and you have a history of reference and everything. The lockdown happened, and then my employer at the time, which I won't name, yes, I probably cannot say their name, just didn't give us anything. So until like July, I think, going towards August, that's when we opened slightly for a month. Yeah, we just like, bing. 2 weeks after, we were like, because I made a new menu for that restaurant as well. So when I was doing the menu for like 2 weeks before we opened, it's okay. But I lost all of my financial stuff, everything, all my savings. I got lucky that I had a big tax return from that year, so I was like, okay, I can survive with this one. But when ScoMo basically said, if you guys can't afford to stay here, you can go home.
Go home, yeah.
And then there's like the what's the job support? I forgot what it is now.
Job seeker.
Job keeper.
Job keeper, yeah.
But the thing is like, why wasn't I qualified for it?
Yeah.
I had a visa, working visa for a job.
Yeah.
And yet we're not qualified for it because
Yeah.
we're not Australian citizens. We're not permanent residents. So,
Wow. Okay.
so for the first year and a half of COVID, none of us got anything. So when it was locked down for us, we were just locked down. And I'm so grateful that my brother-in-law and my partner Elliot was with us during the time, and they had job keepers, so they were willing to like pay the rent and pay the bills during the time. But it was very it's not nice. Like the feeling is not nice because you feel low. You're like you feel like you put into like the dirt basically because Como didn't care about us, you know. And for someone who's also trying to be independent, and I'm already quite independent at the time, just not earning anything was a pain, you know, and just having to rely on people. Not that I don't rely on people a lot, it's more like I don't want them to be burdened financially.
Yes.
Because the Filipino thing comes into like where we don't want people to like say something in return, because like when you borrow something, they're just like, you know, you borrowed money from me last time, maybe you paid, and then you get a talk back basically. And it's like, I don't want that from people. I don't want people telling me that I paid for your thing, so I owe you. I owe you, you know.
It can be so petty sometimes, right?
It's the pettiness really. And then the thing is like moving forward to that one, I went to another employer. And that employer really was promised me that, okay, I will give you your PR. We'll process everything. And I was like, okay, thank you very much. It was like a cafe. And I thought, okay, I come in, and then they told me, what's the problem with the place? They're like, oh, the people there are really bad, the kitchen and stuff. They don't do what I want. And then I sympathize with this owner because in my head, okay, I see the problem and I could fix it. And because I came from another place that I fixed the entire thing. When I used to work for the first place before the lockdown, our food was coming out like an hour and a half, 40 minutes to an hour and a half.
Wow.
And we were doing like pizza, pasta stuff, like I can't say it because you'll know where it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whatever it is. And then I had like 2 employees at the time that were just sabotaging me. They were not doing their job. Everything was dirty, and that's not really good because like we have seafood sometimes on the menu. And then at some point, this was in like January, my sister and my brother-in-law worked for me. And then in 1 week we changed. I mean, in 2 days really, we changed the entire setup of the kitchen the way I wanted it, the way I want the service to go through. And then from then on, all the food items are coming down to like 10 to 15 minutes,
Wow.
or even lower depending on how fast we were like preparing for it.
Wow. Yeah.
And so I moved on to this place, which is a smaller place than this one, because we were doing like 150 covers in 1 hour. Because it's a big place.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, have an interchangeable thing, so you need to get out, in and out.
What do you mean by covers? 150 covers?
Covers is like the amount of people you can handle in one go. So 150 is 150 people inside the restaurant.
Yeah, wow.
And then you do like an
That's
hourly
a
thing.
lot.
Yeah.
So that's why when you go to like a restaurant, they say your dining is only an hour or an hour and a half. It's because the covers need to change.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people need to be in and out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I was used to like, you know, that amount of like stress, like the amount of thing, but we were able to manage it. Again, sorry, Mike. But we were able to manage and bring out the food on time, and, you know, minimal like complaints. And then I moved to this place that promised me like my visa, because the other job was really bad, you know. As I said, they don't treat you properly. They don't treat you with like a human being, because they know that you need a visa. And they will use that against you. And I thought this place was gonna be better, but it wasn't. So I waited for months, and then the owner was terrible. They would change the menu so quick without thinking whether or not we've ordered a lot of things or prepare a lot of things. So the costs go up for the moment you change it. And they would eat the food, and they would just say, "This is shit.
Wow.
It's not constructive, there's no thing, it's shit."
Yeah.
And to think that that person also like smokes heavy and everything. So a lot of the things I were like, okay, you're probably not tasting it properly, because one, you're also vegan, you shouldn't be eating this meat. 2, you're smoking a lot of packets, and 3, you're just a horrible human being. And at some point of that employment, they were joking that they own everything in the place, including me.
Wow.
And at some point, I was like thinking, oh, maybe it's just really a joke, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't take it too much, and then I had a conversation with a friend, and then they're like, "That's not okay.
Yeah.
No one should say that to you. That's not
Yeah.
a good thing to say." And then I had the feeling like the coming year, because we were closed for Christmas. Then January came. I had an email from the business partner saying that they need me to do my job because apparently I wasn't doing my job. Wow. And I was like, how am I not doing my job? I'm ordering everything minimum, making sure that whatever the owner, the one that you have a business partner with ish relationship, is happy, even though I don't agree with what they want.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they don't know how to run a business.
Yeah.
And they don't know how a restaurant would function.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like instances where I didn't understand why. And this is me coming from a background of fine dining, actual pubs, like bigger restaurant than this one. This was like a 20-seater cafe. It's not even like all day.
Yeah.
It's not even open like so full on. So in my head, how am I struggling with a place like this? And I got an email. And so prior to that, the place that gave me my PR, which is called Bar Pigal, it's a burlesque place, was like from my friend that I used to work with in a Scottish pub.
Yeah.
And I brought her to the other place I was working before I moved to the cafe.
Yeah.
And she was telling me, Fred, I need your help with like helping build this restaurant because are you free to consult us or like talk to the owner? Her name's Whiskey Falls. She's a burlesque performer. So she was actually at the event.
Oh, okay.
The red hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Whiskey Falls.
Yeah, Whiskey Falls, man. She is hot. Then right now, she's my friend, but I also love her. So,
Yeah.
You guys can have a look.
I'll call Liz, man.
I know. I'm just telling you right now, doing this. See the camera, I'm pointing.
All my eyes on Liz. That's
yeah,
it.
and she asked me to consult, and I was helping them do this taco style food, basically. And on the day that I got the email, I was actually on my way to do a tasting for them. There was another chef involved as well, and we were creating the selections for the night. And I was crying heavy because my heart just sank because I already paid the first half of the visa.
Yeah.
And because as an employee, we don't get anything back. If the employer backed out, whatever you paid just goes directly, no refund, not even a partial refund, nothing. And it was a lot. It was a lot of money. So coming from another place that I paid a lot of money for a visa, and I came to another place, paid another visa, and I was like, crap. I'm just gonna go home. I'm just I think I had the moment of like I think I just need to just realize that maybe Australia's not for me. Maybe this is not for me. And I've been struggling for like 6 years already, and I'm trying so hard to do everything right, but nothing's clicking.
Wow.
And then my friend who was like the manager was like, can I just work here? And I told her like, you don't have to look for another person. Let me just run it, And then I had a good conversation with the owner, Poppy, and she was okay. She's like, okay, we'll help you. We'll sponsor you. And it was the 186, which is an employer nomination scheme, which is only like a 9-month process and directs you to PR already.
Wow.
And so it was the first time ever as a chef that I work in that people will knock on the kitchen door and say, "Thank you, chef. That was a very lovely meal. Thank you, Fred. Your food is amazing." And even a shout out to the event because we do burlesque performances on the night. So we have like a full thing. Like there's a host, there's like acts. We do like specialized cocktails, and then we do this amazing like tapas style food. And that's when I started building my confidence back again and feeling that, okay, maybe I am allowed to feel a little bit like proud of what I've done so far. Because my achievements are based on getting the PR. And no matter how much I become a head chef or how many kitchens I've run already prior, it didn't make me feel successful. It didn't make me feel like I'm doing anything right. So that was the first time that I felt, okay, I can do this. And then we did like a World Whiskey Day. Where we did like course meals, and then we did like pairings of whiskey on the day with whiskey flights. It was a 4-course thing. And then it hit me, and I asked the owner, Poppy, like, am I able to do like a Filipino night here?
Yeah.
A Filipino event? She's like, yeah, just do it, just let me know. And at some point, it wasn't supposed to be barangay. It was supposed to be just like a Filipino night. That's it. And I think around end of May, I was like, fuck it. I'll do barangay. I've been wanting to do it for 3 years, and I have been putting it in the back burner because one, it's so expensive. Two, I need my PR first to do it. But here's an opportunity. Let me do it. And I think I went overboard for the first event because like I want to impress people. I wanted people to see that Filipino food is worth it. That Filipino food is not something that you will say it's so cheap. Why would we pay for that? And I want other nationalities to know that we exist. So I went and did like teasers for the event. So I did like 2 food teasers, some cocktail teasers, and a fashion and a performance teaser. All of that to combine what barangay in essence is a representation of cuisine and culture, entirely Filipino, and what our new wave of Filipino like desires are. And to me, that was like my full point of it. And I did it, but then lockdown happened. So I had to push it. So first one a week was like a 4-course meal. Similar cocktails actually, because I wanted to keep the cocktails because they were so fun. Because like the island, so you can travel the Philippines by just drinking the cocktails basically. Maybe in 3 drinks. Unless you want to do it all the same time, you can with a straw. It'll be a struggle, but dang, you'll be amazing. I think I will do that as a challenge. Do all 3, I'll give you nothing. But
I'll give you nothing.
But I will make sure that your name will be known in the wall. The wall that doesn't exist. But so I did that, and I think when I started believing in what the brand is, things followed. We got published in the Philippine Times, we got published in the Herald Sun, we got published in the Philippines in Manila Standards, and then we got featured in CNN Philippines, and then we got into ABS-CBN as well.
Wow.
And that's when I realized, okay, there is something here. It's like, and it's resonating for some reason to other things. And I said, okay, let's continue doing it. And I got lucky that, that the workplace is so easy. But again, we went to a lockdown, 3 months and a half. And then I was supposed to do it again on Christmas. But I had to cancel or postpone it because COVID. People got COVID 2 weeks before the event. And it was the time where 14 days was your required, like, isolation. I was like, okay, I have to move it to January. And January was so scary because everyone was getting COVID. It was like a time where like almost at the end of the month, the peak went really high, right?
January this year, 2022.
Yeah, earlier this year, 2022, yes. And so I struggled as well because I lost employees on the night. And before that, like the week before the event, I had news. We all sat down, it was a Sunday, we did like a rehearsal for Barangay. So Whiskey, my friend, and the manager as well, like sat us all down. Tell us that we are closing completely the bar. And we sat there, drank a bunch of champagne. We had a lot of champagne. We were just like, you know what? And the owner was like, just drink whatever you guys want. And it was hard because like she didn't want to play with our futures, which is, understandable. With the current market, we don't know whether or not we're gonna be busy all the time or we can't play that game because like at the end of the day, she's already doing her dance studio upstairs. The restaurant is also like in that space, and the dance studio supporting the restaurant is not helpful. So she had to make this decision. So we were at that point where we're just like, crap, and we were just thinking of like, how will my visa be as well? Because like I was just waiting to do like the medical thing, but COVID kept happening, so I had to keep like moving it. But I think if I got the medical earlier on, I would have gotten the PR straight away. But I had to wait for this time, and it happened really fast. And as the time goes by, until February, the week that we were 2 weeks before we were supposed to close, I got my PR.
Wow.
I got like that confirmation from the agent saying, you are staying forever. And it kind of felt like that last gift from the place that gave me a lot of confidence as well, to pursue not just my vision as a chef and someone that wants to do something, but also as a kind of like a performer in a sense where because they live like a double life basically. They have their personas, and they have their normal names and their different jobs. At night they do this amazing, or not even nighttime, just whenever they get performance, they do this acts and everything. And that inspired me to do something similar. And think like, okay, I am a brand. I need to think of myself as one, and hopefully people see that. And it's not because I want to like, I'm a chef, I know everything. It's more like, I think it gives you a voice to, again, give your opinions on certain matters. Like for me now, I'm just learning that I might be able to move forward with this trajectory to be able to speak for Filipino cuisine and help other Filipino businesses that wants to do the same, and then encourage them on how to do it better, or at least like make sure that we're all uplifting one another. Because like there's also that thing where organizations are built here, but they don't really uplift one another. And it becomes like just their own thing, and we don't do that a lot for other businesses, and that's really bad. And you know,
definitely,
those things are, I think, I want to work towards too.
Definitely, and I agree with you. Like that game of having your own business is like, can be like a dog eat world where everyone it's everyone's own game, right? Like in it for themselves. And I guess that's why we're kind of here today, is because we see it differently. We want to uplift people. We want to let people, you know, go for their dreams, right? But what? That's how we got connected to you, because I'll from the conversation we had.
Guys, I'm professional.
But the one thing that I really love what you said was like those people that gave you, that let you know your self-worth. Because a lot of the time you're getting like, you know, all that negative, when it rains it falls. Like it's like so much negativity was coming your way, and then, you know, you had that little bit of light where you just had people saying, you know, you're worth a lot more than you know. And then you built that confidence up.
And this industry is, I think, in every single industry is toxic in their own ways. But the idea of this chef kind of thing is like, you know, how they portray it in television, like Gordon Ramsay. Those people actually exist in the industry. And I so happen to work for some of them. Exactly. See, he's doing it perfect. Okay. Follow the beat. Come on. No. But I just felt that I didn't have that kind of stand, because I am quite young for this industry, and every single place I've ever worked in will remind me that I am really young, and sometimes I shouldn't do stuff. So
Wow.
some of my friends even were like, you shouldn't accept that promotion. I don't think you're ready.
Wow.
You shouldn't do these things, because it's not like, you're not presenting yourself properly.
Wow.
I used to do like private chefing as well, cooking for people at home, and some of my friends would say, you're not an actual chef if you do that. That's not a proper restaurant.
That's fucking terrible.
Yes, and the thing is, like, again, being just 21 at the time, I was just like at some point I had the confidence to do it. But in the back end of my mind, I'm always just like, maybe I am not good enough for this. Maybe I am not the best that I thought I would be. But then every time I do it, people would just say, that was amazing, you know. But I couldn't take it. Again, it was because it's linked to the PR thing. Have to get the PR first. And it really fed on that, not seeing that self-worth, not seeing your achievements, no matter how like massive the achievements are, really. And you know, this place, the Bar Pical, just like gave me that extra kick that I needed. And being surrounded with people that actually cared and loved me, not just as a chef, but as a person, and respected me enough to believe in my ideals for the food, the way I want it done, the way I want to run my kitchen, you know. And that trust was like enough for me to like, okay, I just want to do this. And you know, now I'm here talking about it with you guys, and I did the event the second time, and you were there.
That was a beautiful event. And like, thank you for sharing your story, because like
Mm.
I was feeling all that pain, man. Like I felt quite emotional, like hearing all the stuff that you went through, and then to overcome it, and then to be recognized by the Philippines, the very country that you want to bring more awareness to in Australia. How did that feel, man?
I actually didn't know how to take it. First, it's like because I'm not in the Philippines.
Yeah.
One, I didn't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I am published in the Philippines. I am recognized in the Philippines. For those things alone, I mean, it's not like a white thing. It's not if I go to the Philippines like, Chef Fred, can I get your
Of
autograph?
course.
No, it's not gonna be like that. But it's more like, just knowing that I am actually making an impact on something,
Yeah.
and that's I want to keep going and stuff. As I said, I almost wanted to give up.
Yeah.
I think the pressure was building, and I need something stable, because as I was going by, I wasn't working a lot, so I wasn't earning a lot, so I was not like gaining that I was not being like sustainable to myself and my finances, and it was like a lot of hit and miss for me, and I had to sacrifice that to like get to this point again. And it's hard when you're in that hole, like creatively speaking, it's not easy because everything is just like a when things are okay for me, it just flows. But it was hard. It took me 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months to even just like do barangay and post about barangay again,
Yeah.
and it hurts because like it reminds me of like the place where it all started, and it's close. The
Yeah.
people I used to work with are not working. I'm not working with them anymore,
Mm.
because like when we all work, it doesn't feel like we're working.
Yes.
It feels like we're all just hanging out doing our
Yeah.
jobs, but when it's game time, we're all very, very
You're on.
professional and respectful. That's the other thing that I really loved about it. It's like you'll see chefs like yelling on the servers, right? Like those kinds of scenarios. But
Yeah.
on our end, we're just like, okay, something's wrong. What do you need? What do we need to change? In the kitchen, if someone makes a mistake as well, one of my chefs will be like, Chef, I'm sorry, I messed up on this one. I'll just say, it's okay. Let's get this one here. Drop it now. Give me minutes. Let's push. Who else needs help? Basically, that's how we function as people in that place. So we help each other out to a point that we just want solutions.
Yes.
If you make a mistake,
Yeah.
I will not reprimand you too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't really. It's more like I will remind you. Okay, so next time, just try to be mindful of that. Don't overexert yourself. If you need help, yell.
Yes.
We're here to support you. I can get out of the past and assist you, and then I can like switch with anyone else.
Yeah.
We came to a point that everyone was so trained that I could interchange with anyone in the kitchen, and we would support one another, and we would just be
Amazing.
able to bring out food.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, I'm switching to the fryer. Someone from the fryer will go to the pass. One will go to the cold section. One will go to the grill.
Yeah.
And if someone is not there present and they did something like something's on the grill, let's say the chicken wings that we were cooking, and then at some point it's like a sixth sense now. I think we have an automatic timer in our bodies,
Yeah.
but we do put timers in the kitchen,
Yeah.
just to be like just in case we were doing multiple things, and then one will do it and be like, okay, ready, or like someone will prepare the plate ready, ready to go, and that's the kind of relationship that I had with that place. It was so good, and I wish it wasn't closed,
Yeah.
but I wish I was still working there.
Where did you learn that style of taking care of the kitchen? Like, you have that care as well. But
Because-
other people, mindfulness.
I think it came from not wanting to be how my chefs are. Because all of my chefs not all of them are nice, and they didn't care about your well-being. They didn't understand the idea of like you yelling at me for 30 minutes. It's not productive, nor is it helping me find the solution. When someone's already at the point of like they know they made a mistake, they're in like a frantic state of mind.
Yeah.
So how can you calm a person who's stressed about it, right? You don't yell at them. You don't tell them that they're shit. You don't tell them that what you're doing is horrible. You don't tell the people that are working there you have no passion for this industry. You should just like quit, And that is something that I never wanted to be. I said to myself, if I'm gonna have a opportunity to like run my own kitchen, I will run it the way I want it to be run, and I won't be like the typical chef that not happy, not smiling, not doing anything crazy. I'm very opposite, and I think most people will tell me like you are a crazy person, but also at the same time you're just like you're too happy to be a chef, and it's like there's a lot of times people would think I'm not the head chef.
Right.
Because I'm just like doing that in the kitchen. I would sing, I would play like very like fun music in the kitchen. I'll just see me doing weird things, you know. I'm way too polite sometimes. And they're just like, wait a minute, you're the one running this. I'm like, yes. I'm the one that emailed you actually. Welcome to my kitchen. So please give me the invoice. Thank you very much. You can go on your merry way. Thank you. And the thing is, like, when you create that kind of effect as well, you touch people in many levels, and
Absolutely.
and you create this system, a support system, not just for you but for them as well.
Yeah.
I've had most of my people like that I work with, I carry with me in different places, and so far I think I have one employee that I was able to pull to like 4 different places
Wow.
with me, and then that created like, you know, an effect that if I ever open up, I would call on these people and it's like,
100%.
if you are keen to work with me again, which I am very keen, and they're very helpful. They were at my event actually.
Yeah.
The reason why I was able to be outside. They're so good. I didn't even give them too much instructions. I'm like, oh my god, I love you guys so much. I barely slept. I drank Red Bull, so I'm panicking. I don't know. First time, I was so scared. I didn't know that Red Bull had that much caffeine. I mean, I drink
big.
coffee, but I only drink it once. If I had 2 or 3 more, I run around like a crazy person, and that's why in the restaurant, like whiskey will tell everyone. And my sister was basically my sous chef at the time. Will tell everyone. How many coffee did he have? They see me just like running around,
Bouncing off the
He's
walls.
so energetic for no reason. He's like, you had coffee, didn't you? I was like, no, don't. And they're like, don't lie to me. Like, yes, I had 2 more coffees. And I also can't lie. I think one other thing is like when people press me so much, like I can't lie, like completely lie. It's hard for me because like when people look at me in the eye or at least like tell me, so what's the thing? I think it's because of this, so that's why no asking where the workplace is.
Don't take it
Barbigal only. Barbigal, great best place ever. You know, it's like that one you can ask me a lot of questions to. But it's that kind of relationship that I created that I was able to string them along and make them feel comfortable. That's one other thing. Like I remember thinking, I had workplaces where like you're not allowed to use your phone. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to play these things.
Yeah.
And then you limit their capabilities to feel like connected to your kitchen, and they will not care about it because you're being like a hard ass on them. So when you care more about your people, they will care for you and the things that you do.
The work,
And then it just becomes like this synergy of like everyone working in the kitchen is happy. And everyone is like, you know, coming to a point where we're just like closing down nicely. We're all helping out. I will wash. I'll make them like, you know, scrub every time. He's like, okay, I'll go down to the washing pit. I'll do the dishes, whatever. And you know, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do it as their head chef, but it didn't matter to me because at the end of the day, if I can make things faster for all of us so we can get the fuck out, I will do it. Because like standing for 8-12 hours a day, it's okay. Because we're used to it. I wasn't gonna say it's hard. It's just like we're used to it, so we're not gonna feel like that much effect on us. But you know, it's good to like rest, have a moment to yourself, let your feet like feel like they're actually like, you know, not being abused. But you know, at some point you just think, okay, self-care, everybody. And we make staff meals, and we would do like, there's like the thing that we do where it's either we do the Burley Bay boxes, which is like vegan, gluten-free, like packages of food. Or we call it the kitchen special or the Fhred special. If you choose the Fhred special, it'll be whatever I want to give you. And assuming that I know your dietaries, which I do. I know everyone's dietaries in the workplace. You say, okay, I will make ways to make food with whatever we have here. Tonight, you're gonna have pasta a la Fhred. Pasta a la Fhred doesn't have an ideal sauce. It'll be whatever I want. So it might be different the next day because it's different stuff that I put into it, you know. And you create a whimsical idea of how to make stuff, and it's just really fun, I think. And at the end of the day, you want people to have fun. except for this one. I'm sorry. I didn't say anything.
Don't finish the food. Wait, I finished the food already.
Well, it's too late. It's good. It's
was
gonna
worth
work.
it.
It's gonna work soon.
Got 1 hour.
The 1 hour.
It's the final
Might as
supper,
well
boys.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Lord.
But your journey sounds rough, right? Through the lockdowns and through COVID, but at the same time, it sounds very character building as well.
It's more of the idea that to create, to build yourself, you have
Yeah.
to go hardships,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
Because if you always get things the way you want it to be, you don't have that resistance to it.
Yeah, yeah,
And-
you're right.
Another thing that we're seeing in the industry right now with new chefs coming along is that because they think they went to chef school, they can call themselves chefs already. Sure, they will become chefs, but to be a chef, you need to be recognized or like given that title. So you have to
Okay.
earn the right to be a chef. That's how it works originally in this industry. And as I said, it's very different when we first started. I'm 26 now, and
Yeah.
I remember when I was like 16 when I did my internship in the Philippines. We don't get paid, okay? We don't get paid in the Philippines. You don't get paid anything. They will provide your uniform, their food, and that's it, and the experience.
Yeah.
And you should be very happy that they even take you in,
Right.
you know, without consideration about your public transport or like on your hours. And you will work crazy hours as well, like
Yeah.
10, 12 hours, and they will say, oh, you need to show us your like passion, you know.
Yeah.
And at some point, I had a moment where I was sick. I was literally like having a fever. I told my chef, I think I need to go home because I am really unwell. And one of the chefs said, you just get like Biogesic, not Biogesic, yeah, it's like our Panadol.
Oh, right, yeah.
So they had like just take one, just take that one, you know, you'll be fine. Before, when I was your age, I did it, you know. You know, I was just standing, even if I'm sick, I'm still working. I'm just like in my head, but you guys are not paying me. Also, I am ill. I'm only 16. I'm not like you guys was like fucking old already. You have more resistance to this, and I wasn't like a healthy person. I had asthma already, so it was already acting up. And I remember like leaving, and then the chef told me, "You know what? You won't make it in any kitchen because I don't see any passion in you. We don't see we really can't see that you're passionate or anything." And I'm just like, it's because I want to go home, because I'm sick, because you don't pay me. And I've been working here since like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going home at 6 o'clock. Wow. You're crazy. But so I ended up, you know, going home still because I really couldn't. I was having a hard time standing up, and it was hot in the kitchen. And, you know, the moving constantly was just not helpful. And I took that in. I think I use it as a motivational thing to be good,
Of course.
to be like better. And I've been so mindful again of how I present myself and how I do my job. I let my work speak for myself. You know, I don't tell people like, yes, I did this.
Yeah.
I wait for them to actually hire me, and then I tell them what needs to be changed, and then I do the job. I give them a time frame. Usually within a week, 2 weeks, you should see some result. Like in one day that I'm inside your kitchen, I'll probably change everything up already. So those were like my my methods whenever I was going to like take over a kitchen. And that got stuck in my head because like all the other chefs were just like, as I was moving up in the ladder, none of them were encouraging. They were really not encouraging. All of them were really shit. Most of them were just like horrible. They won't even explain things properly. Like, why do you guys do that? Like, what's the chemical reaction of this thing? Nothing. You know, you just follow a recipe and that's it. You just get berated later. Just like, I would like times that you would walk to. There was like one time I was going to my workplace. I think I was 19, so that was the first 6 months I was here.
Yeah.
I was a pastry chef there. I was walking towards it, and then I remember like that was like the picture perfect days, the flashlight song for the second movie, and then it just played on my Spotify, and I was walking and I was crying. I'm like, I need to hold on. But I have like a full shift. I have like a split shift. I have like morning till night.
Yeah.
And I was like, help me, please. I feel like I'm dying. And it was like hard. It's like, I think I laugh a lot, and I'm always like, still happy on what I'm doing, but it wasn't always easy. And the amount of times I wanted to give up was insane.
Yeah.
It was like really literally, just like, I think I was always close to the edge of giving up, and then another opportunity shows itself, and I become excited again, and then along the way of that opportunity it becomes shit, and then I almost like, what, it's not for me, maybe I should be just like a software developer or whatever. I'm just like making the apps and be like, this is my app, play it, thank you, amazing, 0.99. But that didn't work out. So I think as I got to a point where I'm actually doing well as a chef, I realized, okay, maybe I can do it. It's okay, I'll stay. And I had people. I think it's the people that made me stay even further. Like being able to bring your team, being able to meet people along the way, and building that relationship that lasts long.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't have family here. Well, I do now. I have my siblings, but when you don't have that kind of relationship or like a family thing, you find it outside, right?
Yeah.
And that was when I was finding those people that I still have now, and they helped me along the way. Whiskey, I love you. No, but she was really detrimental to like getting this PR as well, because she helped me convince the owner. But the owner wasn't hard to convince. She was really nice.
Yeah.
Because I was crying. I think I was a crybaby. But it's hard, man. Think about it. You're just like on the edge. I don't want to get deported. I paid so much tuition fee. It's so expensive.
It's so stressful.
It's so stressful. But again, it's shaping a character basically. That's why I said, like, now that the earlier generation, they have all these rights. They don't do things properly, and they just don't obey anymore. Not that they need to obey everything. It's more like if someone knows better than you and they're explaining things properly to you, your explanation towards that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, it's because it's how we've done it before, yeah, and that's the reason why we're changing it, because what you've done before, it's not right. It's also bad. And if you work in another kitchen and you do that shit, you're not gonna get hired. You're gonna get fired, and you're going to be sad, and you're going to think the place is horrible. So when someone's putting you in the right direction, listen and understand that some of us are just watching out for you guys.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, no one will do that. Some people will just let you burn because it's nice to see you crash and burn. Sorry, that went dark.
That's all right. And before our conversation today, you said that, look, just because you like cooking doesn't mean that you do well in cooking school or to become a chef, right? And what I'm hearing from you now is being a chef is not just cooking, but it's owning the entire kitchen operation, from ordering to preparing and to put staff at their stations and to really assemble a service line.
Yes, but I think it's also a level of responsibility. I was a head chef, and therefore those are within my responsibilities and things that I'm capable of.
Yeah.
To be a chef really is to understand that when you're creating food, you're telling a story. You're not just recreating someone else's recipe. When you're a chef already, not only do you know your passion of what you want to create, but you understand the fundamentals of that cooking. You don't just follow. You're not a follower.
Yeah.
You're someone who's trying to make a trend or like make a mark to someone. And that's when you know those are chefs. Not only are they good followers, but they're good creators as well. And that's where you understand that dynamics. Because if you're only a good follower and you're not a good creator, you're not entirely meeting the criteria of a chef. And it takes a lot to do that. And again, years of experience. And some people get lucky because some of us are quite creative already. And when you're creative already, you could see things and apply it. It's like whenever you have a skill, all skills are applicable to a certain degree in different industries, as long as you see it. So let's say I work for an office. Even though I don't have a qualification to work in an office, I do know how to use Microsoft Office and all those things, Excel. Like I know how to do website designs and many things that will help me get an office job, but I'm not qualified because I don't have the certification. So the same way where if you work in an office, if you know how to organize your shit, you could bring that to a kitchen. If you're organized, it's helpful. If you're like trying to acquire more information, that's also helpful. But again, doesn't mean that you're a good cook at home. You could be a chef already, because again, it's not just about the cooking bit. The cooking bit is the easiest bit. The hardest bit is like getting your supplies in line, training your people in it, making sure you have a proper workflow in the kitchen, and ensuring that you have good relationship from both end and back end.
Yeah.
Because those are the reason why a restaurant function. If no one is able to do that, then it collapses. I like how I'm doing like this. It's like, "Tumutok na pala sayang ang pera ko, pambili ng lobo." So basically, I'm singing like a Filipino children's song.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing all the hand gestures and everything. It's so nice, like a puppet.
Do you know Gerald?
No.
Okay.
That's why you're dying tonight. It's always you because you're beside me. But it's all good. Yeah, but that's, fun things in life.
Look, as we're reflecting on your journey as a chef, and you're sharing these experiences with us, what's something that you've learned along the way that you would share to any other up and coming chefs or want to be inspiring chefs?
I would say struggle and make mistakes, and also like because the thing is like when we struggle, we tend to push ourselves because we know that is our limit. It's like an RPG game. If you're level 1 at this point, what would you do? You will kill monsters. You do quests, right? So if you're a chef, you tend to like acquire those knowledge. You go to culinary school, you follow recipe books, you watch YouTube, you look for a mentor, really. And you want to feel like you're always hitting a wall for some time until you're not hitting that anymore. And if you're really passionate about it as well, it's like, do not just think that it's cooking, because cooking, again, as I said a while ago, is only one part of it. You need to think of it as an ecosystem.
Yeah.
You need to mind that ecosystem, and you need to like learn those things as well to be a very good chef. Another thing is like, don't think that if you go to culinary school, you're a chef already. Remember that everything needs to be an earning thing. You need to earn that right. And when you do get that right, you will understand why you need to earn it. Because if you're just given a paper that says you're a chef, it doesn't make you feel the weight of that responsibility. And because it is a very big responsibility, you're working in a place where you're serving food to other people. You're minding the dietaries, you're minding the food safety of it. So for some people, it's easy. You walk in, you do the job, but those are very big things. If you mess up, you will end up like the Langham, where they had like salmonella.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's fun. I worked there.
Oh. Oh, damn.
The story of that is like I got accepted. The day that I did my induction, the story came out. And the next day was my first day.
No.
As one of their pastry chefs. It was very intense. I could feel the pressure.
Yeah,
They're just
definitely.
like, what did I do? Lord, kuningin na ako. But yeah, no, so I think those are the things I want people to know. Like, and also like don't feel like it's the end of the world. I mean, coming from me, that's very rich, but it's really is like a big journey going up there. It's not the easiest. It's not gonna be fast. No one's going to believe in you except for yourself, and you need to always remember that.
100%.
No one will lift you up aside from yourself. And sometimes even if you ask for other people's like opinions, yours matters the most. And you need to also realize as well to break down your opinion of yourself and see whether or not it's actually the truth of it. Because like when you know your truth as a person, it's easy to it automatically comes out, and it's just it's relatable. You just connect to people straight away. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to feel like you're like an imposter. I do feel like an imposter from time to time, but it just happens along the way. I think when you get to a point of like, oh, I'm already like this level, you feel like you're not at that level, even though you've achieved it already. But yes. So masarap ang pagkain. Thank you.
It's very delicious.
But yeah.
So what's next for Barangay?
So Barangay right now, we are doing some catering here and there now. I'm happy that we're actually having clients and hopefully builds more.
Yeah.
And we want to focus on the idea that what Filipino food is and like how we can present it to other people and how we can make your dining experience like worth it.
Yeah.
Again, it's the part where it's worth it. And we want to create more events that has significance to our culture that will create like that effect of like, oh God, I'm home, or at least welcome home.
Yeah.
You know, and then also like welcome to other people. Like this is us. We're not gonna say sorry for what our culture is. We're not gonna whitewash our food. We're not gonna turn down the volume or our loud mouths because we think it's too much. Y'all are coming into our culture. You need to understand it, and you need to like take it as it is, or like you can leave. You can go to a Thai restaurant. There's a lot of it in the city. It's beautiful, you know, and it's fun. I think moving forward, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities up in there, for myself included, you know, and hopefully I could keep doing what I'm doing, and I can like, you know, feed other people like this from time to time, and maybe poison someone. But you know, I'm really holding on to that poison bit. It's beautiful. So from end to finish, I'm consistent at least. You know? Now you know. As a guest to your podcast, I'm very consistent.
That's what we want, consistency. As long as it's consistent, that's all that matters.
Consistent. So guys, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You only have till midnight.
Well, so we're mindful of time. Like, how? It's already almost 9.
We're just on time, actually.
Yeah. Is there any other questions you want to ask Chef Fhred?
I think the journey it's inspiring to hear, right? Like you've had so many chances to give up, but you just keep on pushing through, and there's a tenacity and I guess relentlessness in that as well. But from what I'm hearing, it's the people that you've met along the way that has reminded you. So I think it's a lesson to hold your good people, your community close, right? Because they help push you through the bad times.
They do, and there's a song for that. I forgot, but I know that's like a song that's related to like to the good times and the bad times. That's what friends are for. Bad times and good times. See, I think I figured out their thing. We have a song, so remember, put it in the back. As we're ending this, as we're doing the ending, we're just adding it to that one, you know. So I can really see the reels of this podcast will be just like us either laughing or being overly serious, and also all the bits where I say poison. And then,
Poison.
yeah, and also just like, you know what, just put it. We're playing a drinking game for the first time in Okiru. Like here, anything with poison, take a shot. Just do it. I mean, poison. Poison 10,000. So you're not just drunk, but the people who listen to this song will get drunk. Good luck to them. I pray for their life. It won't exist.
one whole bottle, we're done.
Yeah, one bottle, we're done. And it's like, you know what? If you have wine, you're even worse. It has more to fill. Lord. Okay. We're having way too much fun. This is not what I wanted.
It's not what I wanted. What did you want from this podcast?
I had no clue. I thought it was going to be like, you know, whatever we talk about. I mean, we did talk about whatever. We went on a tangent for a little bit, went back to reality, then went back on a tangent, then went back into it again, then went to poison. Then poison again. So
Poison.
So yeah, so now I think that's the trailer. That's the trailer basically. You have a trailer now. It's beautiful.
It's poison.
It's poison.
Wait, shouldn't that's not gonna be good for your reputation?
The trailer is poison.
I think it's like, I don't care. Like, you're adults. You should know better.
That's true. Take responsibility.
You take responsibility. Don't let your kids listen to this one. We say fucking shit in this one. Come on. But I mean, if you do, then as long as you tell them what's it about, you know?
Yeah, true.
You know, progressive parental stuff, you know. You don't want to keep your kids in a cage. They will just say it behind your back and they say, my fucking parents hate me. They're all shit. You don't want them saying that. They can say it in front of you.
Exactly.
You're fucking shit. Right? But also like, you know, get them a beating. In a Filipino household, it's not gonna work.
I don't think beatings are acceptable.
I don't think it's acceptable anymore. And remember, guys, the chancla is real. That thing is like a homing device. I don't know how they
It
aim.
will always find you.
It will always find you.
In the right spot as well.
In the right spot.
What is the chancla?
Chancla is like when throwing a slipper. Yeah, so in the Philippines we do the same, and it's the same as well with I think Latino
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah,
when they
yeah,
do the chancla. So when you do something wrong, you could hear it. It's like swirling around. You'd feel it like yeah. It's like a helicopter effect, and it hits you in the face. You're like,
Just like that.
my God, Mom, you're so good. Can you teach me your form? It's like a competition. Dun ba dun. Dun the pointing of the lip sync. Okay, so boys, any more questions?
Actually, we'll end with the 3 questions.
Yeah.
3 questions.
So, first question. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for everyone that I've met so far. I think including you guys as well. I know that our meeting in Mercado was kind of like those moments where it's destined to happen. I don't know why I wanted to go to Mercado in the first place. And we were supposed to leave early. I stayed behind for a little bit, but you know. And that, I'm grateful for that one. Also, another thing I'm grateful for is like my family, because like they have been quite understanding of my trajectory as a chef, as a person as well. And they just still love me no matter what, which is something that I'm grateful for. What's the other 2 questions?
What have you realized?
Oh, I realize I'm really sexy. I don't need to accept it.
He's the sexiest man that
Exactly. But no.
That's my favorite response to that question. So,
Well, I gotta be confident somehow. Yeah, you know, if I'm doing like home cooking and also like doing private chef and demos, I have to look sexy enough for them to look at me. I mean, I can just like wink all the time. You know, but I think I realized that, you know, it's common. I think it would be like a cliche. Hardships are not always bad. It's how you see them and how you accept them moving forward, and how you don't carry them all the time. You don't want baggages when you want to be able to fill that baggage with good stuff. You know, top shelf shit, you know, like probably expensive whiskey. I will go for one. But you know, you just need to like make space for things that are worth it in your life. Because when you do that, you create this effect, you know, and you just take whatever you want to take. Even though sometimes I put in like the panic and the negativity in some of my things, and it shows. People will slap me back into like, remove it. And I'll do it, and then things will follow. I'm just like, okay. And I'm sexy, so that's make that.
That's the main one.
That's the main one. He's
one.
sexy. He's sexy.
I'm sexy, so remember that.
And final question. What is a question you ask yourself? Am I sexy?
Am I sexy?
How sexy am I really?
I think I always ask myself this question. Where do you want to take all of this? And to me, it's like a matter of like whatever it is I do. For me, it's mostly like the Filipino barangay affecting where do I want to take it? How do I want to bring it further? And what will I want out of it? And those are questions that are always like running around my head, because those keep me like motivated and able to just like, I still want to do this, and I just want to open up my own goddamn restaurant. So if you are investors, hit me up. And also I'm sexy, so I'm telling you right now, I can convince you to do whatever I want. I'm very good at it.
That's it.
Okay.
So where can people find you? And how can they support you?
So you can find me at this It's like a bar that strips everything. My name is Adobo Soaps. That's my burlesque name.
Adobo Soaps.
Actually, it's a SAWCE. Sauce.
Sauce.
Yeah, I already had like
Sauce.
I went on a very good like explanation with Whiskey about creating my burlesque performer name, and she's like, I approve of that one. But no, people can find me on like Instagram and Facebook at Chef Fhred for both Instagram and Facebook, and that's it. And Barangay as well. If you need me for anything, it's at fred@barangay.com.au. But do not abuse it. Telling you right now, if you're telling me nonsense, I will not respond to you. I will respond, but it won't be productive for you.
And it will poison you.
And it will poison you. I'll send you an email being like, if you open this email right now, you're gonna get poisoned, bitch. I'm telling you, don't mess with me. I have no time in the world except for today, because it was planned. Okay, it was booked in advance.
So we're gonna book the poisoning in advance. There we go.
If they ask politely, then yes.
If that's politely, please
If
poison
not,
me.
I will just
Please,
I'll
poison me deliciously.
I know, and I'll be just okay. So how do you want it? I could think of different ways. It can be skewered. It could be boiled. You know, it could be braised or baked. Just choose your poison.
Choose
Exactly. So the poison thing is not an actual poison. It's just a method of cooking. See. Now we're changing the industry.
Bang.
Sexy stuff.
Sexy stuff.
And we're gonna be
Sexy
Britney
Chef
Spears soon. Lord help us. Okay.
Lord help us.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Chef Fhred, for
Thank you.
this beautiful dinner. That's
Thank
so
you.
absolutely delicious.
Mm.
And thank you for your time tonight on this Sunday evening.
Thank you for having me. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I do talk a lot, but I
We
know
love
that you guys were listening, I think. You guys can let me know in the comment down. Well, you gotta give them something,
Yeah,
right?
that's true, that's
If they're not interacting with our socials, there's no point. Liking it is not enough.
Comment down below.
I need your comments. Tell me I'm sexy.
Telling me sexy, guys.
Exactly. Or if you just pay me $12, I'm happy.
Just pay me $12.
Yeah. So my BMIT is
PayPal
my PayPal is. I'm joking.
Well, thank
Alright.
you. Thank you so much. We hope you found value in this podcast. Always stay safe. Take care and always get up. Peace.
Okiru.